point. And in this final 10 minutes, although it's only 10 minutes, it feels a long, long way when you've already done that previous 50.
Well, 10 minutes is two Tom and Jerry's. Nobody's laughing in here, but everybody is smiling. Bradley Wiggins may look like he is smiling, but he is grimacing, believe me. And he is just the master of his own destiny at the moment. He's 1 minute and 43 up. He's going to break the record, but by what distance? That's the point. And how much has he got left? We've seen other riders go too quickly and then fade. We've seen others just keep something back, maybe keeping a bit too much back, like Alex Dowsett, and then just pouring it on at the end to deliver the success. He's in that zone right now, and listen, the crowd, they're starting to rise. They're appreciating what's going to happen here. Bradley Wiggins is heading for a record, and he's going to do it in double quick time here.
It's absolutely unbelievable to hear this London roar again. This is one of the only events you'll ever find where absolutely every single person in this velodrome wants this rider to achieve something, because normally there's an opposition, there's somebody on the other side of the track and the other half of the velodrome are cheering for them. But on this occasion, 5,500 people are only cheering for Sir Bradley Wiggins, and it's such a special moment.
Wow, he's so far ahead of pace at the moment. It's a question of by how much, not what if, but by the margin. And right now, every single curve must be digging into it. He's being cut to pieces out there. He's doing this. It's a motion of self-sacrifice, essentially, in front of a crowd. It almost feels gladiatorial. It is the purest of all forms of racing, I guess. It was the initial test all those years ago. And Bradley Wiggins is writing his own page in history right now.
It really is the point where you find out what you are made of as an athlete. I had swimming friends coming up to me after the event when I did mine saying, well, I found a T20 swimming constantly for 20 minutes. I don't know, how on earth did you do that full hour? But it's this final 10 minutes, he's got 8 minutes to go now, where you are searching deep for something special as an athlete, something you can't find in the same places on a time trial, where you've got a gear to change, or a hill, or an uphill, or a downhill. It really is all about you and that black line.
We talked about the core, we talked about delivering the power in the perfect position, and it's just starting to ebb ever so slightly. We take nothing away from him. The shimmy that was just at the back end has started to reach mid-torso at the moment. He's not exactly eeling it down the back straight or indeed through the curves, but the movement is starting to reach towards his shoulders. He's clearly suffering at the moment because style is just starting to ebb. We're talking about micros here. It's very indiscernible, but knowing Brad as we do and how we saw him looking so comfortable, he's clearly not now.
Well, an athlete of this caliber is more of a perfectionist than even a perfectionist will be able to contend with. He will look back and think where he could have changed anything, if he could have changed anything indeed at all. But it's absolutely immense to see someone put themselves through this amount of pain. And that was one of the messages I got after I completed the hour, is just watching someone suffer for such a long period of time. And although there's only just over 5 minutes to go, those 5 minutes will be some of the longest 5 minutes of his life.
Well, you know, the crowd were engaged in a Mexican wave. They got tired. Even doing that, they're watching Bradley Wiggins at the moment, and the wall of noise is actually following him around the track every single time he heads to one of the back straights where the audience is at its deepest, naturally. He hears a roar, and that's got to spur him on. This amount of support is remarkable.
Well, the temperature of the velodrome will have gone up by a degree or two in this final 10 minutes, just because everyone jumped to their feet and, as you say, are roaring him round. And you really do feel that energy as a rider. It pushes you around those bankings that little bit quicker. It pushes you along the straight that little bit further. And it really is something to behold. And if you could tape it, bottle it up, and play it to yourself and those long, long training rides, and I'm sure that you'd go that little bit further. It really is something that you cannot find anywhere else.
Wow, just looking at Bradley Wiggins, I'm brimful of admiration right now, as if that particular treasure chest was not absolutely full. He's a man who's achieved so much, and yet seems to be able to maintain a desire and frankly redesign himself. Not content with being an Olympian, not content with the track, not content with the road and the Tour de France, for goodness sake. Time trialing legend. He goes and takes on the classics, and then he comes to the track to do this and forms his own team. What on earth is left for this man?
Well, it's just over 12 months' time. We're looking forward to hopefully seeing him in Rio de Janeiro. But for now, it really is just about the final 5 minutes of this hour. And oh my goodness, as if you could see anymore. It's just unbelievable. I'm lost for words. This crowd is getting even louder.
I'm not surprised. The average speed is actually going up here. Bradley Wiggins is reaching out for greatness, and he's not to be denied, for goodness sake. He wants to send this home. He wants to not only boot it into the long grass, he'll set a bushfire going here today. Army bound. Lap 200, for goodness sake, and look at the speeds he's maintaining.
Well, the next marker will be the actual current record, that 52.8 of Alex Dowsett. When that record is broken and there's just under 2 minutes left to go, Bradley Wiggins will get the biggest roar of the night. And I never thought that was possible with the previous roar.
There we are. The atmospherics against him, but the crowd very much for him. It may be high pressure, of course. He was looking for low pressure to cut through the air and maybe give himself another kilometre. But he's a greedy man when it comes to distance, quite clearly. And 1 hour is the length of this dinner. And he's feasting himself upon this velodrome. And we are just waiting for the crumbs from the table, quite frankly. This is a remarkable run, as remarkable a time trialling run as you've probably ever seen.
Well, shadowing the previous record wasn't enough for Bradley Wiggins. As Sir Dave Brailsford said earlier, if you want to set out and put down a marker, then this is the man you seek to do that for you. He is absolutely sensational, and with just 3 minutes to go, we're very shortly going to see him eclipse that current record.
We are indeed. Bradley Wiggins now knows he's within range, so does the crowd, and in fact the music has started. I've no idea what the track is, but frankly it sounds like Bradley is singing to himself here.
Well, what you'll hear is one gun when he's completed the full hour, and then he'll have to complete one more full lap. And his distance that he finally achieves will be calculated based on where he was when the first gun went and where he was when he finished that final lap. So there's a calculation to be done. We won't find out immediately, but we're very, very close now to going over that 52 kilometres and then up towards that record, and we've still got 3 minutes to go.
We have. The record is about to fall, and Bradley Wiggins, from every single pedal stroke from that moment on, the record will belong to him. Just how solid it will be depends purely on the man who's wearing the golden helmet in this velodrome right now in front of us.
4 laps to go for Bradley Wiggins until he eclipses Alex Dowsett's record. And you can see the Wigo flags waving in the track centre and around the crowd. Everyone is waiting for this moment to give their first of 2 amazing roars.
Yes, it's going to be huge. He knows it as well. That board, we're not privy to it, but the countdown continues. 3 more to go and he's buried it. Not only that, he starts to build. It's amazing, isn't it? This deep into a run, you're talking about building, but that's the way he'll be viewing it.
Well, he'll be timing the emptying of the tank to perfection. You know as an athlete just how far you can go when you start to really push, and he will know that with just over 2 minutes left on the clock, he's got to time this to perfection, just as he will have done so many times in an individual pursuit. Now he's got to time this to perfection at the end of an hour. It's some task.
They are roaring him on, they're cheering him home. This is Bradley Wiggins, absolutely in his bomb. Oh, I believe he's just about to crack it next time by. Here he comes, just listen for the roar. This is the lap right now, I think they know it. Oh, they do! A bomb has just gone off in the timing circle. This is about Bradley Wiggins now. This is about his record, not anybody else's. It belongs to Bradley.
And what a privilege to still have a minute on the clock when you know that you've broken the existing record. What a position to be in. These final laps won't feel like laps of honour though. Bradley Wiggins is having to dig deep. He wants to put this record in a place that no one else will be able to find it.
Absolutely. He's going to hide it in full view, this record. You go looking for it if you think you can do better. I suspect not many can, and it's going to be an awful long time before this is broken. And if it is, well, they will be frankly superhuman, because we have a man here who has just done it all. You know what, he's cheering us, but he's breaking our hearts at the same time, because we all appreciate the suffering he's going through on our behalf.
We certainly do, and he's approaching his 216th lap. So in just over 30 seconds time, we're going to hear the first of those guns firing, and then he'll have 1 more lap to sprint. And then, as he said in his interview earlier, he never has to touch a bike again if he doesn't want to, but we know that he will want to.
It's the final 20-odd seconds remaining of this run. Bradley Wiggins is going to hear a gun. There'll be a second shot as well. The timekeepers, the distance men will do their thing, and then we will have our distance. But this man has done it. For goodness sake, count him in. It's like the launch of an Apollo moon launch here. Oh, listen to this. He breaks a line once more, and the hour is out. Bradley Wiggins has done it. Can't hear any kind of shots going off, for goodness sake. Such is the roar that's going on at the moment. You could have had a gunfight in here, and you just wouldn't know it. There it goes. Finally, he can stop. Finally, he can appreciate what he's done. Oh, my life. Everybody is just waiting for official confirmation, but we have a world record, and it belongs, quite frankly, to our Bradley.
It's absolutely sensational. He just got through that final lap before the gunfight, so he had to do one more full lap, and then you could see the excitement. He's now able to do those laps of honour. His chest is heaving up and down. This is the point where it's unbelievable. He finds the energy to get out of the saddle. Goodness gracious, what a man.
Well, if they carry him off this bike, I suggest it may well be shoulder high. All men are not created equal. Some just happen to be heroes. And we have one with us tonight. You know his name. Dave Sarah, what a hero.
A hero, legend. We use the word legend so frequently, but in this case it really is deserved to be able to go out there with an existing record of 52.8 and go out there knowing that you're capable of beating it and not being afraid of putting down a marker that's your very best performance on the day. We saw that final 12 minutes and how he expected them to bite. They did bite, how he dug deep, how he kept pushing, how he drifted ever so slightly down from that pace that he looked like he might be able to sustain. And whilst we sit here and still await that official distance, we know it's going to be more than 54.4 kilometres, and we're just awaiting for the officials to do their final measurements, their final calculations of what went on between those two guns. And as an athlete, you listen for the first gun, and normally you're told stop. You have to wait for the second gun, and that's it.
Oh, look at that! I was looking at the legs, expecting them to crumble. Not a bit of it. Wow. Wow. Don't hug him too hard, for goodness sake. He needs all the blood flow he can get.